Okay, hello everybody. This is the Sights and Sounds of Earth, and as always, we're giving everybody a few seconds to get in here. Um, oh, and it's going to be a very short show tonight. I've got a headache really bad. I'm coming in because I got to try my best here to keep these numbers up and try to keep things going down the tracks, even though I feel really bad. Um, I My car got fixed tonight. For those of you who are wondering, the car lot that sold it to me put a brand new air compressor in it for the air conditioner and recharged it, and it is working wonderfully. I had to walk down to get it in the pouring rain, but that's okay. We're watching some storms coming through here, North Carolina, and right as I pull up cameras, the power goes out in the area where the camera is. So I'm having a hard time keeping three active cameras up here, but I'm going to keep trying. Um, but we are getting a nice lightning show, which is kind of what I'm showing here. This is a um, not an unusually strong complex of storms, but they are strong. There's a pretty good center right here that's going to move just north of Cookville, and it's near what is this, Greensboro. I don't think I can get this. Yeah, there's no camera here, but you can see there's some pretty windy conditions right there out ahead of this thing. That camera's gone down. That camera's gone down. This one's the next one up, and it looks like a red light. I don't even know what's going on there. It almost looks like the camera is looking down on top of the red beacon light that's on the tower. I'm not sure though. I don't know what's going on there, but very interesting situation there. Um, there has been some pretty strong wind gusts. Yeah, I've already got that one. We got this one here. That's Baxter Fire and Rescue there. All right, so these aren't particularly strong storms. They are severe thunderstorm warned at this point. No tornado warnings. Um, let's go ahead and take a peek over at the high res velocity, and not much. There is a little rotation within there, but I don't see any couplets. I don't see anything really forming. If there was going to be, it would probably be right here, but I don't really see nothing real deep. Um, we can always go over here to Hendersonville and get a second opinion. And again, I don't see much in the way of a couplet. No. It is leaving some power outages in its wake. Macon County, currently 20% of the county's population is without electricity, about 2,700 folks. And in Clay County, about 1,600 folks, about 16% out of electricity right now. And that's all from this complex of storms that just moved through the area there, through Lafayette and Red Boiling Springs, etc. We had some pretty good rainstorms here today. At one point during the show, I went upstairs. We got a really nice break area upstairs with like soda machines and different things. And I went upstairs to get me to fill my soda. And as I'm going up the stairwell, I can hear the rain beating on the roof of the stairwell. And I've never really noticed that before, so it must have been raining pretty hard today. Um, yes, I'm gonna go watch that storm in the Atlantic. I've got a bunch of screens pulled up here, and we're gonna be taking a look at that. Um, I'm less worried about it tonight than I was last night. How about that? You want some good news? There you go. I was more concerned last night. Tonight, the models are just not showing it as much of a threat. But let's go ahead. I'll pull it up for you guys. And here we go. Let's put it here. me switch into studio mode. I hear a chopper flying around my house. We call that the ghetto bird. All right, here we go. So now we're watching this area closely here. Let's let it start over again. All right, here we go from the beginning, from the top. Here's the all the model runs together. And I want you to notice that a bunch of the models are not even picking up Genesis anymore. And almost all the models are taking it now north of the Caribbean. So again, not near as dangerous looking as last night. So let's go over to Mike's weather page. I swear Mike doesn't pay me. I love so much. I always give a plug. There's Mike's weather page. On here, this is some of the latest model runs from Tropical Tidbits. And is it going to give me an IR satellite image or not? There we go. Not that impressive this afternoon. You can see yesterday it was a lot more impressive. Today, not so much. Here's some of the model runs. This takes it up right over Haiti. That's... I don't know. That's one run. Let's see. Here's another. This one's showing it mostly going north, not entering the Caribbean at all or close. And then another one here that's about a 50-50 shot, with the consensus taking it just to the right of Haiti and up into the Atlantic rather than the Caribbean Sea. Or the Caribbean Sea. I'm sorry, guys. I did okay on the air tonight at work. But I'm driving home and I'm like, oh my God, I feel like someone kicked my ass. And, I'm not. I'm just trying to keep things going. I've been very sick. I think I had the COVID. It went on I ran a fever for 8 consecutive days. And I've been fever free now for 48, about 62 hours now, 70 hours. So I mean, I'm doing okay. I'm taking my temperature over and over and over again to make sure that I'm not contagious to go around. My mother's in rehab center. I certainly don't want to walk in there with a bunch of 80-year-old women with the COVID going on. So I stayed away. It broke my heart for a week to stay away from my mom right when she needs family the most. But it doesn't matter. You cannot put people's lives at risk like that. So I had to let it go. I let it go, and I got back up there to see her yesterday, and I saw her again today. I met with her doctors and all that good stuff, and we're working on her therapy. But the point is I have been going like crazy now for 2 days, and I'm still suffering with these symptoms. My throat's still a mess. It'll clear up. Tomorrow night's technically my night off, Saturday night, and I may go ahead and take tomorrow night off, if you guys would forgive me. If there's anything going on, I'll come on, but I'm gonna kind of play it by ear, because the truth is I need a night off. But we'll see how it goes. The car's out of the shop. The AC's working great. That's the good news. The radio box is pretty much done, and I'm hoping to feel better by Sunday so I can go park it out under the tree and finish getting the wires run from the battery. I got the leads that come off the battery, and all that I want to get put on it. And I got to run some wires through the firewall. I got a set of a harness of 4 wires I got to run through the firewall. I got the control wires for the warning fog scene lights that I'm putting in the front. I've got the main hot, I've got the main neutral, and then I think I'm going to go ahead and run one additional wire that I'm not going to need right away. But I know that before long I'll want to add something or put something. So I'm thinking while I'm doing all this, I'm going to go ahead and run a few redundancies. I bought plenty of wire. I'm going to go ahead and run a few redundancies so to make it easier when I decide to add something later on. Yeah, I'm going to take the night off tomorrow night. And then, like I said, if I feel a little better on Sunday, I may work on my car. I may not. I may just literally take the weekend off and just spend time with mom and come home and relax. And that's what I'm going to do. Tonight, I'm going to be on for about an hour tonight, and then I'm going to bed. I still have a weekend show that I got to produce that I haven't even received yet. I'm hoping that that I get that from my client here before long so that I can make it up. If not, you know what I do sometimes? Believe it or not, what I literally will do is I will go and I will check and see if the episode's in, and if it's not, and I'm tired, I just go to bed. I don't care. I just go to bed, and then I set my alarm for 5 a.m. in the morning, and I get up on the 5 a.m. and that gives me an hour to dial in and make his episode up and put it in before it airs at 6 a.m. in the morning. So yeah, sometimes things happen at the last minute in radio. Let's see here. I guess that's about that. Hey Billy, what's up? Dominic, Gravedigger, Red. Lots of my folks in tonight. I appreciate all you guys coming in. And let me get it better in a couple days. I'm going to start promoting some more mods and stuff. Once you're in for 2 or 3 weeks and I get to know you a little bit, I make you a mod. We don't do a whole lot of moderation because we're a free speech. But if it's if people put in the spam or anything like that, I do appreciate my mods taking care of that. Yeah, that Spaghetti Models is a great site. And he has an app, but he charges a little bit for parts of it. So I don't even use it. I just like the website myself. As I'm getting older, I do less and less on my phone. I bought the S20 Plus, which is one of the bigger phablet type phones that you can get. Yeah, that's what they literally call them, phablets, because they're like half tablet, half phone. Anyway, it's a big ass phone. But unfortunately, I don't enjoy using it because it's just not pleasant to use. So I got, as you guys know, I got my tablet, and I bought this tablet about a month ago now, and I have done everything you can imagine with this tablet. I've taken it everywhere. I've done everything. I haven't logged contacts on it yet because I haven't done anything like that with ham radio, but it's eventually going to be how I log my contacts and all that. But this tablet is really been a good tablet. I paid $120 for it, and it has been an amazing piece of equipment. It's some knockoff Schwahi, Wawa, whatever, I don't know. But the point is, it's not a Samsung, it's not an LG, it's not an Apple. And it has been an amazing piece of equipment. I get 6 or 7 hours of battery life. Use actively video watching and using it. I converted all of my mom's 8mm and Super 8 tapes and 8mm reel-to-reel film. And we had Harmons here locally converted all over to digital for me. And so now when I go see my mom, I offer every day, if she wants, we'll sit there on my tablet and she can sit there and go through all of her videos from when we were kids. And sometimes it makes her a little emotional. It's kind of nice having that. A lot of people don't have any photos or video from their childhood. I do. You know, my mother doesn't. She has no videos of her childhood at all. You don't think about stuff like that. If you're a younger person, you may not know anybody that doesn't have videos or pictures of their childhood. But I bet if you ask your grandmother, she'll tell you she probably doesn't have any videos of her childhood. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. The generations before my mom, you know, we're talking people who would generally be about 100 today. That generation has no video at all of their childhood. My grandmother had no video at all until she was like 30 years old or something. I mean, it was crazy when you think about it. I have actual films of me running around the house in a diaper, which I feel fortunate because a lot of people don't have that. And pictures of me at the Grand Canyon and pictures of me up in the mountains of Georgia and video and my brother and that stuff's really cool. It really is to have that. And I love to be able to show that to my mom. And back to the tablet's been a wonderful medium for me to just be able to say, hey, look. And I just stick it in front of her face and she's like, oh my God. And she gets to hold it right in her hand. My mother has always suffered from the loss of the tactile contact. Like, she likes pictures that she can hold in her hand. And she feels like anything that's on digital that she doesn't actually have it. She doesn't feel like she controls it or owns it. And so because of that, this is something I've been trying to do where I put it right in the palm of her hand, right while she's sitting there. It's so important. We've got a new power outage just came in, guys. Jackson County, 1,000 people just lost electricity in the last 20 minutes. And that's 10% of the people in that county. So this storm is continuing to progress east. That's why we've lost a number of our cameras here that are literally going behind the dark wall where the power's gone out already. But yeah, those if you've still got Super 8 film in the closet, that is worth the investment. There's Legacy Box advertises on our station, and they're really good. I use Harmon's here locally. They're a local photo. They're our local photo specialists. No one does it better than Harmon, and so I go right in there. They did my pictures when I was in school. They've been a fixture in this town for 100 years, and I walked in there with a box of films, and 10 days later, I walked out with that box of films and a thumb drive. And I was like, wow. We spent, I think, $800 or $900. It was not cheap, but it was not, we did 50 videos. It was not thousands of dollars. So it's doable. It's doable. Forecast for the Northeast tomorrow. Let's take a peek. Let's go to Mike's weather page. If you guys go to Mike's weather page, you'll notice one of the things he's got on his weather page is you can scroll down here and you can see the national forecast right here. And yeah, we do have an area that is 3 out of 5 there. Oh, I'm sorry, 2 out of 5. 2 out of 5 on the convective outlook. And so, yeah, there you go. That my cabin just got out of that, and my friend Nikki, she's right in that area there. So there you go. There's some folks up that are going to have to deal with that tomorrow. That's coming up. That area does get tornadoes, but they do not get long track or Cat 5, EF5 type tornadoes. So that's the good news. But we will definitely be watching that. If it looks like an outbreak and I get storm chasers on the ground, I will go live. I'll keep an eye. I'm going to be here watching tomorrow night. I'm just probably going to take it easy. I need to give my throat a 36-hour break where I'm not projecting and talking and yeah, Red, there is that area that I just showed you that in the gold there, in the yellow, that was that area is could get something tomorrow. The tablet, yeah, it's probably it's like you said, the same company that made this tablet is also probably making the Samsungs. I swear the buttons even look the same as some of the Samsung models, but I bought a case for it for I think $20 that stands up. And then I bought something that a lot of people don't think about. And here, I'll show you guys. Look at this. I bought this for the system. And what it does, Here, let me see. There we go. Here it is. What it is, I bought this, and what it does is this plugs into the tablet, and then I can charge the tablet. This is the charger for the tablet. So in other words, if I need to charge it, I plug the charger into the adapter, and then I plug the adapter into the tablet. Now, what does that buy me? It buys me card readers. I can read almost every kind of SIM card there is right into my tablet. I also have a USB-A and a USB-C that two USB-As and a USB-C, and I think they're 2.0s. And then on the end, HDMI. I can actually project the screen on a television or a computer monitor, all with this one little adapter that cost me $12. If you guys want, I can put the link in. So this allows me to keep the tablet charged. This is a mouse. I actually use a mouse. When I have my tablet plugged in, even in my bag, my merce, my man purse, whatever you want to call it, my bag, I have a little mouse, a little mini mouse in there, and one of these adapters, so that when I'm working somewhere, if I want to, I can plug in even a mouse. And then if I'm somewhere where I have a keyboard, I can plug in a full size, a full IBM compatible keyboard right into it as well. And that allows me to use the tablet kind of like a desktop computer while it's charging. So I think it's really cool. I like this, and it's an amazing little thing. And I'm surprised how well it works. There was no drivers to download. It was something that I don't allow people to say in my house, which is the term plug and play. I don't allow that term to be used because there is no such thing as plug and play. Don't lie to me. Don't lie to me. There's no such thing as plug and play. All right, there we go. What do we got above me right up here? That's that guy that goes down to the federal courthouse in LA, and he checks out to see if there's any of the protesters that have showed up. What he was showing just a little while ago, and I'm sure he'll show it again, is there was a group of a few people down there, but they've put up a whole new big steel extruded metal fence all along that whole side there where we saw the National Guard on all those videos that are still rolling out there somewhere. But yeah, that's so he's out there. You can kind of see some of the changes that the feds have made to the back of their building there. That was where that day 2 and 3 of the unrest was really bad, right there behind that federal building. Remember, day 1 was a Home Depot thing. That's where it kind of started, and then it ended up here behind the federal building where a lot of the people were brought after some of these raids. And we've seen no significant protesting over the last 2 or 3 weeks, but this guy goes down there every night and highlights the 4 or 5 people that bothered to show up. So there you go. Yes, links. Let me get you the links. I got it. See what I do, I actually will keep up, or I don't have it up, but I'll pull it up here. Amazon. That's what's great about Amazon is I have the direct link to everything I've ever ordered at my fingertips. I did go ahead and those pieces came in for my antenna. I don't think I showed that. It's kind of hard to show it, but my pigtails that come out of my FT100 now go directly into the connector that goes out the back. And so that ended up being a pretty cool deal there. All right, here we go. Link. I'm gonna give you the link to the tab too. Yeah, this is the first thing, and some of you may not need this, but the first thing I'm gonna put in here is the clip that this is what I'm using in the car, tab bracket. And then that bracket is very nice. Now you screw it into your car. It's no bullshit, okay? It doesn't go in a cup holder. It screws into your car. But if you're like me, I buy old cars, I screw things right into the dashboard, and then when I'm done with the car, I drive it up on the crusher. Because I drive them till they're dead. All right, here it is. This is the hub mini port, they call it. USB-C hub mini port. Copy link. There you go, that's the mini port. Let me know if you're having a problem with any of these opening them up. And then here is the tablet. Oh, this is the case for the tablet. And I'm one of these people, I'm the first one to bitch if it's garbage. If something's garbage, I will tell you it is garbage. But when I find something good, I also like to pass that along, because so many times I'm the one buying that garbage. And I like when someone says, hey, I wouldn't buy that, and I don't buy it. And a lot of times I'm sure that saved me a lot of grief. All right, there's the tablet. I just put that in for you. So there's my whole setup there. Yeah, the rest of this is all like light bulbs for my car and all that kind of good stuff. But yeah, those are the four right there. Hey, Junior, what's up? Hey, Coco. Thank you for being here, guys. I appreciate it. Yeah, there you go. Those are the four links there to this little tablet that I got. And any mouse will work. Once you buy that little adapter, then most of your Windows peripherals will work with your tablet. As long as they're a newer peripheral, they'll generally work with it. Yes, real men get out a drill and drill that shit right into the dashboard. You know what you have to be careful now, though, is freaking airbags, dude. You know, you don't just go screw shit into your B post or your A post anymore. You don't just screw in mic clips into your you got to be careful, because you really have to look and make sure that you're not screwing in to part of the device. My car's 12 years old, and it still has, I think, 8 airbags or some crazy shit. So yeah, you do have to be careful with that. But as long, like down around the center console and stuff, you're good down there. I use suction cups on the windshield. They work okay. And you can even use them for broadcasting. But for tablets and laptops, you really need something that's mounted, something that's screwed into the actual car, that'll give you more of a stable surface. That one I bought that I showed you there, the one that's called the tab bracket, that one's not bad. The way it works, you actually put an Allen wrench up inside it and tighten it. Once you get it exactly where you want it, you tighten it, you tighten it, you tighten it, and that shit's like solid as a rock. And I like it. It's going to go right there next to my radio. So when I'm doing my POTA, okay, I've got my radio right there on the right, and then right to the left of that, I've got my tablet, and they're both on the right side. My left hand doesn't do anything but wave and open doors. So everything will be over here on my right, where I can tab it up. And what I'll do is I'll bring the mic over, and I'll hold the mic in my left hand. And that's how I will do POTA. I'll sit there and I can type in the call sign, and I'll use my left hand to talk and my right hand to type, my right hand to VFO, and everything will be on the right. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, well, here's the thing. How many years did I have a car that I was going to be the last driver of? I drive them into the ground, and then I drive them onto the crusher. And if I'm going to be the last one in this car, then I'm going to do what I want to do with it. You know? I mean, if I want to put some NMO antenna mounts directly through the metal, which I think I'm going to do, I think I'm going to go ahead and drill like 3 of them on the trunk lid and just go ahead and wire them all up, put antennas on them, get them all set. I got the little stubby antennas if I don't need them for anything right now. I just screw a little stubby on there. I even have a little cap. I can put a cap on it if I want to, just to cap it off. I've been looking at different verticals for 10 through 20 meters as well. I'm wanting something I can go mobile And I've got a 4-magnet system that goes on the roof, and then the wire from that will run down and inside the back door. That I'm looking. I've already got the base. I've already got it here. I'm looking to buy the vertical piece to go on top, because I want to get to where I'm completely mobile on HF as well. But I also want something I could take off during the week. I'm not going to leave it on my car and let it rot up there in the sun and the rain. I'd say the salt and the snow, but we don't have those problems. Now the salt spray, we get salt spray down here, but we don't get the salt on the roads like you guys get some up north. Yep. So all's going well. I still have 4 light bulbs to switch out. Actually, technically 6. Believe it or not, the ones in the front, the best way, the easiest way to replace them, if you're not, real ambidextrous, is to go ahead and jack up the front of the car and take the 2 front tires off. So I need to jack the front of the car up anyway so that I can get to the fog light, the back of the fog lights, and see what's up with those. I've already got the amber LED replacements for those. But I want to go ahead and jack up the front of the car quite a bit, put it on a set of bricks, and then take the front tires off of it so that I can get to there's a parking light bulb and a brake light, front turn signal bulb. The problem is you can turn the tire to one side, but you have to reach your hand in there, and you've got to use this special tool. I bought a special tool to pull the plug. There's like this special plug, and I didn't want to mess it up because it's in my wheel well. I got to pull that plug. You got to reach up in there, and the bulbs twist and come out, and then you can pull them down through the hole and switch the bulbs out. And then you got to stick them back up in there. It's not an easy thing, but it shouldn't be too bad. I want to get those last 4 bulbs, and then the 2 in the fog lights. Everything else in the car, inside, outside, already LED. Everything is already LED. Even the reverse lights, the rear marker lights, the rear tail lights, and the rear turn signals are all LED. And the high beams and low beams are all brand new LED as well. And so when I get done, I'll have brand new high beams, brand new low beams, and yellow. The driving lights, I'm going to go ahead and put yellow in there because I think it'll look cool. And then those will be down there, and then I'm going to put those 2 lights on the front of the grill, and they're either yellow or clear, or they all blink if I want them to blink too. So there's a lot of neat stuff there that I still have to mount on the front of that thing, but it's getting there. And I've already built the box, the radio box. You guys have already seen that. This is the radio box. I'll show you real quick for those that missed it. Here we go. This is the box. You can see here I mounted the USB plug. Open that up. There's 2 USB-Cs, 1 USB-A right there. Power plug for that. That's all wired in. Here's the main power for the box. You just plug it right in there. It's all weather tight. On this side, you've got your 3 antenna connections. You've got HF and 50, and you got UHF, VHF that's all for the shack in the box. And then over here, I've got the one for the other radio in there, which is a UHF, VHF. And I got little caps on them to protect them. And then in the box, when you open it up, there's your radios just sitting in there. And this will literally sit in my passenger seat with the back up against the back of the seat. And the seat belt comes around the front. I've already tested this out. Comes around the front, goes underneath the handle, okay, and comes all the way around. And you literally run it through the handle and then over and click it in. And the box stays nice and firm and spot right there. The radios are both right there where I can see them from the driver's seat. The mics are all right down inside here. Once you plug it in, everything just comes on, it works. And everything is pre-wired in the box. And there's even a small fan that's going to run back here to keep the radios cool. This is pretty much ready to go other than the cooling fan. I don't have the cooling fan in it yet. But this, you could hook this up right now and work it. It is ready to go. And it is, it's literally set to go. And it closes and it seals. And what's nice about that is if I'm somewhere where I need to go to a picnic table or go to an event or an operator, whatever. There you go. Look at that. It's all sealed right up in there. And when you sit it on the bottom, there's nothing on the top that can get messed up. There's nothing on the bottom. It's just the two sides that you have to kind of watch, because you've got your antenna connections on this side, and you've got your power connections on that side. This entire cost of this was $44 for the box. And probably what, 10, 20, 30. This was about a $75 or $80 project minus the radios. And all I had to do is add 2 radios I already had. And now I got radio in my car. And I don't have to leave it in my car. I could just take it right out. But I also have nowhere to mount it in my car, so this gives it somewhere to be mounted, because I have nowhere to mount it in my car. That's a little problem in these newer cars. One of the biggest problems we have in these newer cars is there's nowhere to mount nothing. You know, in the old days, we could mount radios right underneath the dashboard. I mean, how many buddies when you were growing up had a CB radio mounted up underneath this big ass freaking dashboard, right? It's a little different now. There is nowhere in these cars to mount anything. And so my car needs a name. I have no idea what we're going to call it yet. I think I should call it the Alpha Flyer. What do you think about that? My Star Trek guys will know where that comes from. I'll call it the Alpha Flyer. All right. It worked in the Delta Quadrant, right? All right. Let's see here. I am going to do a review. I did a review of that new Star Trek that came out. It's a good episode. I would watch it. It's better than the last few before that. They're really hit and miss this season. They're running about 40% right now in my book on Strange New Worlds. They were running about 80% in the first 2 seasons on watch, don't watch type scale. I'm really hoping we have 1 left, and I'm going to cancel my Plus subscription the moment I get done watching it twice. I do that on purpose so that I want Paramount to know that your ass needs to be making more Star Trek. And if your ass is not going to make more Star Trek, then I'm not giving you any more money. And the cartoons don't count. Yeah, it's a neat little camera box. You know that box? I like it. It's actually a little lighter than the Pelican case. I'm sure it's not quite a Pelican case or anything, but man, that's a nice box. I've already decided it's got the cutout, it's got the punch out foam in it, you know, where you can take out just the ones you want so everything fits. I'm going to buy another one of these. I've already decided, probably next check, I'm going to buy another one of these just for my 35mm XLR camera setup and all of my lenses and all of my lights and my flashes and all that. I'm gonna make it really look nice. And it comes in 5 colors, so I think what I'm gonna do is start buying different colors. I'll buy a red one for my camera. I got a black one for my setup in the car. And I'm thinking already about buying another one. It's just tall enough that I could literally buy one of those and set it all up with all of my portable radio equipment, and actually have like 8 radios in there with all the batteries and all the different antennas and all the different, so I may do something like that. Yeah, I love these for camera equipment. I think they're great for camera equipment. And then next time I go on a trip, I just load hard cases, man, and everything's safe. I don't have to pack it and unpack it. Yeah, I'm happy with the box. The radios are just sitting in there. They're all foamed in so they can't move. The only thing I'm going to do is I am going to put a few strips of Velcro to hold the radios together, because I want them to breathe a little bit between them as well. And also, I'm going to put a few strips of Velcro just to hold everything in there really tight. I don't want anything flopping out. But yeah, once it's strapped in, the lid will just stay open up against the back of my passenger seat. And then if I don't want people to see it, all I got to do when I get out of the car is just bring the lid down. I don't even have to close it. Just bring it down and lay it down, and you won't be able to see what's in the case. Yeah, Harbor Freight. I love Harbor Freight. I don't go there anymore because I buy all that stuff on Amazon. Harbor Freight, just like most other places, like Big Lots and even half the shit I used to buy at Walmart, I buy it all at Amazon now. I'm Amazon Prime. I mean, I probably get 8, 9, 10 orders a week. I buy from 3 sources: Walmart, Amazon, Habitat for Humanity. And I get about 95% of everything. I love Harbor Freight. I'm not gonna say a bad word about Harbor Freight, other than I can buy everything they have cheaper on Amazon. Sorry. And sometimes I need the generic option. Sometimes Harbor Freight only has the better stuff. I need the cheaper alternative sometimes, because I'm not building fire department equipment. I'm building amateur radio equipment. I don't necessarily need a $110 box. I can get by with the $44 box, which is what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm happy with this box. Thrilled to death. I built it while I was here sick. This is kind of my legacy, one of my little legacies from this illness, because every time I started feeling a little better, I'd start drilling holes and working on the box. So that kind of became a little sign of my recovery there. And I'm, like I said, once I find my roll of Velcro, I'm going to Velcro that fan in, Velcro the couple strips on the 2 radios, just to make sure they don't move around inside the box. Because I was not going to go with hard, with like, I've got brackets for them, and I could go in there and build, like, you know, brackets that hold the brackets. First of all, I don't need that weight in there. I don't want another 2 pounds, 3 pounds, 4 pounds in there. Number 2, I don't need it. The radios are all boxed in foam already, and it probably would be okay like this, but I'm still going to secure the things down. Yeah. You can certainly get more expensive than Harbor Freight too. When it comes to commercial equipment, you can buy really top of the line, and you can buy really cheap shit, and you can buy all the good stuff in the middle, which is about where Harbor Freight is. When you're on Amazon, you have to be careful, because you'll end up with some cheap piece of crap that you don't want. But I research it, and I don't have that problem much. You know what? I agree with you about what you just said, Red, but always keep in mind, most of the time when you buy from Amazon, you're buying from a small businessman or woman. You're buying from a business human, I guess is what you call it nowadays. And when I buy this stuff, now granted, a lot of them are in China, a lot of them are foreign, but a lot of the companies I buy from, if you look, their company works with Amazon, but Amazon didn't own that tablet before I bought it. That tablet was purchased in bulk from China by a company here in the United States, and I bought it from that company, who then puts it through the Amazon system to get to me. Amazon and eBay are not as dissimilar as they want you to think they are. It's just Amazon actually holds their people to a much higher standard than eBay does. eBay, you can have 150 shitty purchases where people file complaints on you, and all they do is take your shooting star away or something. But nobody cares. You're still on there, and you still have 10,000 sales, and nobody really realizes that you're out screwing people and you've gone to hell. And Amazon, they get 3 or 4 complaints, and these people go on probation. They go on suspension. They have to stop selling their items for a period of time. If an item gets too many complaints on Amazon, they won't allow anybody to sell that particular item anymore, just because there's standards that are held. And so that's why I'm an Amazon Prime, because I actually see their standard, believe in their standard, and I think it's working. Is it perfect? No. But the other thing that makes Amazon special to me is they deliver things better than FedEx, UPS, USPS, ESS, OSI, all the different delivery people around the world. I've had things delivered by people I don't even know who delivered it. And I'm going to tell you something, Amazon gets it right more than anybody else. They're on time. We're coming today between 4 and 5. And at 4:15, my phone goes bling. The guy's 4 stops away. And I walk outside, and he comes driving up, and he hands it to me. I'm like, damn, I love Amazon. That's another thing, Dominic. Amazon may save your life. I know it sounds crazy, but if you drive to the store 3 times a week to buy stuff, and all of a sudden now you don't have to drive to the store anymore to go buy stuff because you're buying it all on Amazon or whatever, there's something to be said for the safety involved in that. You don't have to go out driving in that bad traffic anymore, driving across town, going to 7 different stores looking for a specific piece of equipment. Now you can go on, order exactly what you want. You'll have it in 22 hours. It's amazing. I think it's absolutely amazing. Well, whatever. The whole, you can be anti this or pro that. The point is whatever. I'm not saying anybody's wrong with stuff like that. As a matter of fact, there's nothing wrong with being conscious about what's good or bad for us or good or bad for the planet and stuff like that. As long as we keep it in perspective, I think that's a good thing. But I have yet to find anything that compares to Amazon. I was a big eBay guy, and then all of a sudden someone turned me on to Amazon a while, years ago, whatever it was, and that was it, man. Ever since then, man. All right, let's see what else is going on, guys. We still got a decent crowd in here. Let's see, where are we going? Where are we going? Junior, I've done that too, and I feel shitty about it. I do. I'd take my mom when she was able. I would take my mom to the mall, and we'd walk the entire mall. We never bought anything there. I couldn't afford to buy things at the mall. Are you kidding me? Yes, hurricane supplies. I mean, pretty much anything you need, you can get through Amazon. Yeah, we get a tax-free holiday for our hurricane supplies down here, and we get a tax-free holiday for our back to school, and they happen in the same week. So, in other words, you can go to the store and buy a generator and a bunch of blue jeans for your boy, and you get no tax on any of it. So it's pretty cool. I just love how we do taxes here in Florida. It's very different than most other places. We have the lowest taxes in the country down here. That's right. Whole Foods is on their list for places where you can just walk in with your return. Amazon returns are fairly painless. I bought 2 DMR radios, one from TYT and one from Baufei. And after about 25 days, I got to where I was hating life, digital radio, and those 2 pieces of equipment, and I sent them back. And I got full refund after playing with them for 25 days. Of course, they look brand new when I put them. I had all the plastic, and I literally put everything back exactly how it came. I keep the packaging on everything until I'm sure I'm keeping it. Now, some things I take out of the box, like these antenna connectors, I took them out of the package and threw the package away because I know I'm keeping them. But anything like a radio, like, you get your Baofeng radio in a box, I will take the stuff I want out, and anything I don't need, I put back in the box. I close it up with the manual and everything inside, and it goes up on the box, up on the shelf in the house. And then after I've had it for a year or a while, a little while, I'll go through those eventually and throw them all out. I don't just hoard them, but I also keep them for at least 30 days. I make sure, because that's what you need to send it back. Yes, that's what does it, Rippin. We survive on tourism down here. We're a service industry down here. We have very few factories. We don't produce all that much. But what we do is we give people a place to come and spend their money, spend their retirement money, spend their vacation money, spend their savings, and they come and they spend it here. And we provide them with a very wonderful place to come and visit and hang out, where the government's not too overpowering, the taxes are not too high, and you can come down here and enjoy yourself where the prices are fairly reasonable still. You can go to some other, like if you wanted to go to a California beach and stay at an Airbnb, or you wanted to go to a beach here on Fort Myers Beach and stay at an Airbnb, that California trip's going to cost you two and a half times what you're going to spend in Fort Myers. And that's why, because we can do it here. We've even got places that are in the inland parts of the state where people go and rent an Airbnb on a big lake, place called Lake Placid, Sebring, Avon Park, beautiful places. And people go and they spend a week on a lake somewhere because there's not that many people there. It's not a busy beach, Not hoarding is hard work, especially when you're a ham. Hoarding's kind of part of the business when you're in ham radio, so it's been a challenge for me not to hoard. I like to support ma and pa restaurants and ma and pa stores when I can. The stuff I buy generally is not available at a ma and pa store. And I couldn't survive. We don't have ma and pa grocery stores. There's one left. It's called Lawhon's Grocery. I love those people. But I can't go there and buy my groceries. I go broke. I mean, we've got an Aldi's about to open. I'm gonna go in and look. I'm gonna compare Aldi's to Walmart, and I'm gonna see how it compares. We got Publix down here. Publix, some of the finest grocery stores you'll ever go in. I can't afford to go in there. It's expensive. This shit is expensive in there. You'll go in there and they'll be like, oh look, they got Mountain Dew on BOGO. Yeah, they're on BOGO. They're $2.50 a piece, and they're on BOGO. But it's still 20 cents more than I can get them regular price at Walmart, even on BOGO. So, and I'm gonna check this Aldi's. Some people have told me that Aldi's actually is really good, and they do, some things are pretty cheap in there. So I used to go in Winn-Dixie. I used to go in Winn-Dixie about once every 4 or 5 days just to get what I needed. And then once or twice a month I would go to Walmart and just spend $300, which has gotten a lot easier to do, by the way. But then they closed down my Winn-Dixie and they're turning it into an Aldi's. And now I'm waiting to see what that's going to look like when they're done with it. So there you go. All right, what do we got going on? We covered the tropics earlier, guys. Better news today than last night. The chances of that thing are forming are not that good. That's interesting, Victor. We've had some here for a while. but I've never been in one. Yeah, Publix is amazing, dude. It is. I'm gonna tell you, Publix is the only other grocery store I've ever been in that's every bit as nice as Publix is Ingles. That's a southeast thing as well. Um, Publix is more of a Florida moving into Georgia. Ingles is more of a like up in that area coming down this way. I don't think we have Ingles in Florida, but when I go up to Georgia, the really nice grocery stores up in Georgia are Ingles. And then, of course, but we go to Walmart because that's what we can afford. Um, yes, Coco, and I got to tell you something. Those Publix BOGO sales, all it does is get you almost back to Walmart prices. I hate to say it, it does. Um, I don't know. Yeah, I don't hate Publix. I just understand Publix. Publix is a premium grocery store, just like Ingles. And and if you can afford a premium grocery store, then this is a free country, dude. It's an amazing store. The bakery's amazing. The meat department's amazing. Are you kidding me? But most of us just can't afford that kind of luxury. And so we go to Walmart or Aldi's. That's all. Um, but don't go to Publix and hit BOGOs and think that you're saving money. It's an illusion. You're absolutely right. It's an illusion because they'll make it seem like, oh, look, this is buy one, get one free, buy one, get one free, buy one. So what if you hit 20 of those and you only buy 30 items? Let's say you hit 20 BOGOs, so you got 40 items there, and then you buy 10 more items at regular price. You're still going to spend $15 more than you would have spent at Walmart. And at Walmart, you could have bought anything you want because it didn't matter what was on sale. That's another thing people don't realize. When you have to go buy BOGO, you have to make sacrifice. You might want a certain kind of steak sauce, and they don't have it, so you got to buy this kind of steak sauce because that's what's on sale. Same thing with laundry soap or whatever it is. If you go to Walmart, you can pick the exact one you want because they're all everyday low price. There's no bullshit sales all the time. I hate sales. It's like Bell's and these kind of places, Kohl's. My mother goes in them places. You know, let me tell you something. Those places, they have a game that they play. The shit comes in from the street. I know this for a fact because I have a family member that worked at one of these places. Shit comes in off the street, right? It's marked up 700%. So in other words, they spend 10 bucks. It goes on the rack for 70 or $80. Okay? It sits on that rack for exactly 35 days. Give or take. I'm making up kind of the numbers here. Sits on that rack for 30, 35 days. Okay? They come through, boom, 20% discount. They come through 10, 15 days later, 30% discount. They come through 10, 15 days later, 40% discount. And they keep doing that and doing that and doing that. And finally, it's Christmas time. It's 10 months later, and it's on a 75% off clearance rack. But that's the business model. They put stuff in there at a crazy price. Crazy price. Because these textiles don't cost that much. When you see these dresses, these women's dresses, like in a Macy's or something, and that dress is $149. That department store only paid $20 for that dress, $30 for that dress. That's it. They're gonna list that dress at some astronomical price, okay? Way crazy price. Because one asshole will come in there and buy it. One rich person. One rich guy whose wife really wanted that beautiful dress. He's got the money, he drops it. A few weeks later, the kind of rich lady comes walking in and she buys it because she's going to save her man some money because it's 20% off. And then the next week, a few more people come in, it's 30% off. You get those people that are willing to do that. And that dress finally gets down to where you're down to 1 or 2 sizes left. It's on a clearance rack. And guess what it's marked for? It's still $5 more than they spent on it. It's 75% off on a clearance rack. And they're still going to make $5 on that dress if they sell it. That's the business model. It's the sale business model. There's different ones. There's the everything's always on sale. That's the fireworks business model. Okay? Everything's always on sale. The entire store is always 50% off. That's bullshit. If the store's always 50% off, then that's the price. Okay? But let's not get into that. That's a different business model. We're talking about the progressive sale business model that Kohl's and Bell's and anything else that ends in L's uses. That's the kind of business model that they use, okay? And there's a lot of other ones too that do the same thing. I'll tell you another place that does it. The hobby stores. Hobby Lobby, Hobby World, Hobby this, Hobby that, Hobnobby, Hobby. Never seen a ham radio in a hobby store, by the way, but let's just leave that there. When you walk into Hobby Lobby, you'll walk in there in April and they've already got Halloween shit out because it's a hobby store. You go in there early and you buy stuff because you're making crafts and doing stuff. So you walk in there, all that shit's full price. And then they will slowly work that down to where the day after Halloween, that shit's all 80% off. But it's a 6-month curve. And come July, the Thanksgiving and fall stuff go in. And by mid-August, the Christmas stuff is in. And it's all done on that progressive progressive sale cycle. She sells seashells by the seashore. All I gotta do now is do it like Bill Shatner. She sells seashells by the shore. I don't know why. Anyway, the point is, okay, if you really think about this, that's how these places do it. It's progressive sales. They start out by selling one for 10 times more than it's worth, selling a few for 8 times more than it's worth, selling 6 for 5 times more than it's worth, selling 2 for 3 times more than it's worth, and then finally selling the last 5 at or just above the cost that you paid for them. But when you project that out for that dress over the entire 6 months that dress was there, okay, it took up smaller and smaller space every month, but it continued to make money until it was gone. And because the first couple sold for such an astronomical price, the entire box of dresses did well. And they'll buy another box for next year. That's how it's done. That's how it's done. And so if you're smart, you have to go in them places and never pay more than 25% of what the original price was. When you walk in there, if it says, oh, look here, it's 20% off, 40% off, don't be enticed. It has to be at least 60 or 70% off in one of those places before you should even look at it. Yes, Coco, that's exactly it. You can do the math, and it's still cheaper to go to Walmart than to buy one, get one free at another place. Yeah. Where's my Halloween cats? I don't know where they're at tonight. I'll see if I can find one here in a minute. I'm going to take a little break here. That's true. Walmarts actually are on a scale. Like our Naples Walmarts charge slightly more than our Fort Myers Walmarts. Like if you walk in to a Naples Walmart and you price out, I don't know, a 35R36 tire or whatever the hell, I just made up a number. And then you go to the Fort Myers one and you look up that same tire, it's $6 cheaper at Fort Myers than it is in Naples. Why? Because Naples is a more expensive area. The net property values are higher there. So the Walmarts actually charge a little bit more. When you go to a very rural or a depressed area, you'll actually find some that are cheaper than the one in your town. Um, it's not by a lot, but there is an adjustment based on the area where it's sitting. It's true. And I'm sure other places do it too, but Walmart's the only one that I actually know about. Um, but yeah, that you're absolutely correct on that, Dominic. Um, and sales, people don't understand sales. I was walking by this vitamin D CBD shop or something in the mall. And my mom and I are always laughing at this sign because the sign says, um, get two B12 shots, buy two B12 shots and get the third one free. Buy four B12 shots, get two free. Buy six B12 shots, get three free or four free. It made perfect sense, but did you really need to spell it all out that way? I mean, I know if I buy two and get one, if I buy four, I'll get two. If I buy six, I'll get three. I kind of had that figured out already. But the part I don't understand is right next to it. It says on the first one, it says save $2. Then on the next one, it says save $3, and on the next one, it says save $4. And we, for the life of us, can't figure out how that math works out. Anyway, it's what I even have a picture of it somewhere. I need to find it because it's been there for months, and it's like that doesn't make any sense. Now I'm not good at math, okay? I'm not good at math. I mean, 1 plus 3 equals cherries and fruit. I don't know. I don't understand. I hate math, but I'm smart enough to understand that that doesn't make any damn sense at all. Yes, of course, if you go to a Publix, you're going to get the best meat department, the best deli department. They make great sandwiches in there. Uh, the bakery's amazing. The deli's amazing. Look at these, I UFOs in this damn. Did you guys see that? The UFOs flying up there. I don't know what's going on. Let me see if I can figure out which camera this is. No, it's definitely not that one. Oh, you know what it is? It's not UFOs. It's a lens reflection from the headlights on the vehicles down on the road. That's all it is. God, I debunk shit before I can even pull it up. Oh well. You want to know something? I had people quit my paranormal research team because I wouldn't tell them that the picture they got was a ghost. I'm like, that is clearly a lens flare. This is a ghost. If you tell me it's not a ghost, I'm quitting. Bye. I'm not faking shit. Take it and go. Take your ass and go. I'm not gonna appease you by telling you that your bullshit photograph is a ghost. I actually lost people over that. Credibility is everything. If I'm not sure, then I stake my credibility on the fact that I don't know, and I'm going to show it to you so we can all figure it out. But if I know, I know, and it's bullshit. I'm not putting it out there. I put them out and say, look at this. It's the headlights reflecting from the road below. To me, it's a neat scientific phenomenon. You know, you guys see what I'm talking about, right? Look right here in this. You guys see where my mouse is right here, left side center screen. It looks like UFOs up in the sky up here, but it's not. It's a lens flare from cars that are coming down this road down here. Almost looks like a lowering up there too, but it's not. Some pretty nasty rain moving through up there right now. That's why I'm keeping this on. Still no tornado warnings. We do have these. And these severe thunderstorm warnings have been allowed to expire. We do have in Texas right now, we have a severe thunderstorm warning that encompasses Paris, Texas, and That is moving, looks like west to east also, and a bit of a scrimmage line setting up there. Remember, especially out west, one of the things we look for is a derecho. And can you see that line I just drew there? You got like a line drawing right there, and this whole line is moving off at the same direction, at the same speed. Sometimes, oh, that's right, I can't draw over that screen. You can't see it. Okay, I get it. All right, I actually have to use the other telestrator. Here we go. All right, see this line right here that runs down through Paris? That line, that's like a bow. See how it's starting to bow out in the middle? They call that a bow echo, and like a derecho will look like that, where it's a straight line winds. All right, so let's get out of this. Let's check out what's the other one we had. Oh, that's in Canada. What's going on in Canada? Got a big mess up here. All right. Looks like it's coming in the Schwanigan in Louisville. Yeah, all that, and again, it's setting up a little bit of a line there, but there you go. It's coming across. This is up in Canada. This is north of Montreal proper. Yeah, so there you go. And of course, then we have that first one in Kentucky. So let's take a look at this. This is just south of Irvine, Kentucky. We've got one moving west to east here. Look at that. Nice little storm complex there. A potato head. Is that the best we can do? Really? A potato head? Oh yeah. Yeah, they get them out there. One of what you need for derechos is strong supercell activity and very flat land, and you can get these things. They happen a lot down in Mexico too, hence where the name comes from. And there you go. Pac-Man is my ghost adventure. Pac-Man was all right. I wasn't my, asteroids and Space Invaders. Defender was my game. In that era of games, in the Pac-Man era, Defender was my game because you got to fly the ship up and down, and they were coming at you. And that one was better. I had friends that were into Pac-Man, but it's like Pac-Man is a lot like tic-tac-toe. There's only so many variations and possibilities. So are we trolling? Is that what we're doing with the whole potato head thing? It doesn't bother me. I got a melon on here. It just sits up here. It just big huge ass melon on my head. I think it looks more like a melon than a potato, but hey, it does have two eyes, so it could be a potato. I don't know. I get called names by professionals, so this is like amateur hour. Maybe the other guy will come in and start calling me Cheech and Chong again. All right, let's see here. I do want to mention one thing on space weather tonight. We've got actually, I want to mention a couple things on space weather tonight. Number one, there's a total lunar eclipse, but I have some bad news. It's for the other side of the world. For more than an hour on September 7th, the full moon will pass through the Earth's shadow, turning the lunar disk blood red as a lunar total eclipse occurs. No one in the Americas will be able to see it. It's literally for the other side of the world. So, yeah, there is going to be a lunar eclipse. The bad news is you'll need to get on a plane pretty soon to get there in time. Let's see here. No one in the Americas will see it, but everyone else can. The zone of visibility includes Asia, Australia, Africa, most of Europe, mostly Eastern Europe, and the maximum eclipse time is at 1811 Universal Time on the 7th of September. So there you go. And if you get, I don't think I have anybody on the other side of the world that's in tonight. Not that I never do, um, but yeah. If anybody sees that, definitely let me know. I'd love to get a picture of it. Um, Lunar eclipses, of course, are a lot more common than solar eclipses. I'm a two-timer on the solar eclipse. I have drove the one two eclipses ago, went right over my cabin, and we went out on a boat out in Lake Notley, and we're out in a boat for the eclipse. It was the coolest thing ever. And I've got that video that you can still see on my channel, early on my channel. And so basically, these lunar eclipses happen a lot more often than solar eclipses. That second solar eclipse, I had to drive all the way to Illinois to see that one. And there's another one, I think 44 or something, and it comes right by here. I'm gonna literally be able to drive to it right down the road. We're gonna, if I'm still alive, we're gonna do some kind of cool stuff. And I'll probably be in Georgia by then. I don't know. I doubt I'll still be down here working in another 15 years, but who knows? Is that all you're going to do? Is just continue? Are you a child? Is that it? I mean, are you like a 6-year-old? Because all I got to do is say something and they'll ban you and it'll be over. But I don't like to do that because, if you're just coming in to troll, then go somewhere else, because it's like we're just in here having a good time. There's no sense in all that. Well, if you love the channel, then let's bring it up to at least high school level, okay? I talk about serious deep science topics on here and news things, and we cover important stuff, and I like to think it's a little better than the name calling. But anyway, the other thing I wanted to show you guys was, it's called a Sigmoid Eruption. A Sigmoid Eruption. And I'm going to go and show you this right off of one of my favorite websites, and that is spaceweather.com. And space weather, where the hell is it? There it is. Here we go, spaceweather.com. There's what it looks like. This is a Sigmoid Eruption. And anytime you see an S shape on the sun, it usually means something is about to explode. Back on the 4th, NASA's Solar Dynamics Observatory actually recorded a textbook Sigmoid Eruption. And there you see it there on the screen. The S shows up, and then it explodes. It twists, boom! And that's why they've actually got a name for this thing. It's called a Sigmoid Eruption. Researchers have long known that Sigmoid structures on the sun's atmosphere herald strong explosions. Their magnetic field lines are twisted like a slinky, and when enough tension builds up, they untwist with explosive results. This Sigmoid here hurled a dark plume of plasma more than 700 kilometers along and into space. The plume is dark because the plasma inside the relatively cool, the plasma that was kicked away from the sun is relatively dense, and it's a lot cooler than the actual solar disk. So because of that, it looks dark. Can you see it there coming out? That's actually the coronal mass ejection, or CME, coronal mass ejection. It's actually stellar matter, star material, whatever you want to call it, that has been splashed out into space. But yeah, there you go. You can see there that it streams out there. That streamed out billions of miles, thousands of Earths. I mean, it's hard to even measure this stuff. It's crazy. Um, it's a coronal ass ejection. Well, I guess the sun spits it out in every direction. This one happened to be Earth directed, so what that means is we could actually see some auroras from this in the coming days. Um, Look at that. That's an amazing thing. Like I said, just one more really cool thing for you to look at on the sun. There's so many really neat things with our sun. That explosion that I just showed you hurled that coronal mass ejection directly towards Earth. NOAA and NASA models both agree that it will reach our planet on September 7th. The impact could spark a G1 to a G2 class geomagnetic storm, and high latitude aurora watchers should be ready for auroras on the night of the 7th. I'm not sure how far south this one's going to go. Probably not quite as far as the last one. Maybe northern tier, maybe Maine. It all depends a lot on the lighting and things like that. But anyway, there you go. And I just want to show you guys the actual plot map um, for the coronal mass ejection. This is a pretty cool graphic that I want to show you guys. This is actually put out by the government, by NOAA, NASA, and look at the wave come out. Isn't that amazing? You see it? We're the yellow spot. See? There needs to be a little sign that says, "You are here." But we're this little spot right here. All right? And I'm going to bring this in even more. We're this little yellow spot, and you can see that wave goes right over us. It goes right over us, both on the y-axis and on the x-axis. Isn't that pretty cool? So there you go. You saw it here first. And this all comes from one of our stereo observatories out there. This is um, a neat tool that they have where they predict how much energy is going to actually hit our geomagnetic field. How much potential for aurora is there going to be, and how much potential is there going to be for radio blackout, because you're going to have radio blackout too. So could be. Okay, let's see here. All right, so that's what we got, but that's what it looks like. Look at that, man. It's quite a wave that comes over us. I mean, it's bam. All right, so there you go. I love that graphic. I think it's an amazing graphic. Usually, Space Weather will link to that anytime that there's one of these. They'll link to it, so you can pull it up pretty easy with spaceweather.com. I do strongly recommend, as I do, spaceweather.com. It's another one of my go-to websites. I have about 10 go-to websites, and this is definitely one of them. So check that out. Lane Star, it probably has something to do with the fact that you've referred to me as a starchy vegetable 11 times. It probably has something to do with that. Um, you know, quack like a duck, walk like a duck, probably a duck. Um, if you don't want to be thought of as a troll, I would suggest not doing things that trolls generally do, like show up out of nowhere and start calling people stupid, childish names. That's all. And we don't block that many people. We don't delete that many people. But it got excessive. And my folks do what they got to do. You're still welcome. Ask me questions about the sun. I'll be glad to answer. This is for science. This is for space weather, and we also do a lot of stuff with science fiction shows, and it's kind of a little nichey here, but we like it. Whatever. Jesus Christ. I was hoping he'd have something more intelligent to talk to us about. All right, let's see. Is there anything else you want to go on tonight? I've been on about an hour and a half, which is about a half hour longer than I was going to stay on. Well, I think we all had a Mr. Potato Head. I know I did. Well, two if you count this one. No, I have not gone over the latest on Atlas 3i. I think I'll make that the feature on Sunday if you guys don't mind. We'll have some more data in by then. We'll also have some more imagery. It's getting closer and closer, and as it gets closer, we get more imagery from it, from the web and the different telescopes that are available out there. But yeah, we're going to do that. I actually think, hey Heath, what's up, buddy? Your name's coming up now. It's different. That's weird. Every time you come in, it comes up as something else. Hey, no problem, Victor. I love doing it. What's going on? Yeah, I'm going to watch tomorrow night. I may take tomorrow night off because Saturday night is technically my night off. However, as you know, if there's any reason to go on, I will. There's a potential for some strong weather tomorrow in Tennessee, up and through that area. So if it gets bad, I'll come on. If there's any manhunts, police actions, big pursuits, I'll take live. And I'm going to be here a lot over the weekend, relaxing and working on getting. We've got the new QCast program that I should get the copy of sometime tomorrow. Once I get that, I'm going to start installing it and all that. So I got a lot of that going on this weekend. So I'll keep an eye out. If you guys see some breaking news, put it in the breaking news section up there. As long as it's something big, like something I would cover. Put it in the breaking news section and that will alert my phone. I've got it to where that only that one section alerts my phone. I think it's working. So we'll try that. But yeah. But yeah, I showed the box off. If you guys didn't see it earlier, Heath, I don't know if you saw it. The box is pretty much done. It's ready to go. It's got the radios. It's got the USB plugs. It's got the big plug. I still have to obviously hook this up in my car so that I can plug it in. And I'm also I may put one in my mom's car too if we're going to be traveling in her car. We're not sure how much my mom's going to be doing going forward, but we're hoping. Anyway, you can't really see it, but one of the neat things I did was I got pigtails on the Yaesu, and I actually just bought the adapter so that the pigtail goes right into the adapter that goes outside. So that's really cool. There's no extra pigtail in here. The pigtail on the radio goes right to the thing that goes to the outside. So it's all hooked up. I used a double male and a double male and then the barrel connector, the double female, and so that's all set to go. And the mics will both lay right in here. There'll be plenty of room, and there'll even be a little room in the front here if I need to put something else. Or I've already tested it. There's room in here to take the antenna off my UV25, and it lays right in here, and the mics go in the front, and it seals. So if I was taking this, like if we were going to go hiking up a mountain or something, and I was going to take this, all I would need is the battery box to go with it. I'll build me a little Bioenno battery box, and then it will plug right into this, and I could just carry the two cases right up. Everything would be right in there. So I like it. I also have a couple of adapters for the back. These slip-ons. They're pretty cool. They just slip right on, and then you hook your antenna connector on there. And what it does is when I get in the car, they just slip on. They're not screw-on. So, and they work pretty much just as good. So this way, when I get in the car, bop, 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 they plug right in. The plug plugs in the front. 4 plugs. I'm completely on the air on 12 different bands or whatever. It's pretty cool. and it's all in a box that when I'm going to buy a tube of silicone, and I'm going to loosen all these things up, and I'm going to silicone everything. So my goal is that this box is watertight. Now, I'm not going to throw it off the boat and test it out, but I do want it to go ahead and be watertight. That's so weird, Heath. I don't know why. I only know it's you because even when a weird name comes up, you're a moderator. So I know it's one of my 3 or 4, 5 moderators. Anyway, so there we go. That's my box. All set to go there. 3 antenna connectors on the one side, and input plug, and then of course USB plugs on the outside. And then that way, if I'm using this with my tablet, like at a picnic table, I can charge my tablet or my phone right off the front of this box, which will be plugged into the battery box if I build one. I am not even 100% sure I'm building a battery box. I might build me I might buy me a nice thick extension cord and literally just build an extension cord that'll plug into this, and I can walk over to a picnic table and just plug it into the car. I haven't decided yet. I'm gonna figure out what I'm gonna do yet. I've thought about, I could buy an extension cord and literally put these plugs on the end of it. I might even be able to buy one with these plugs on the end of it, and then it's DC. So as long as you run thick enough wire and you don't go more than 25 or 50 feet, you can do it. It's not like alternating current though. You can't plug in like 400 feet of wire back to the battery in your car. Probably going to have too much loss to make that work. That's why the one thing Edison was wrong on was the direct current. Edison thought every neighborhood should have a power plant, and that's how it would be. It was one of the few things he kind of got wrong. And others were like, no, if we take the current and we put it into a wave, that wave will travel hundreds of times further than direct current will. And so what Edison was running into problems, he would run wires down the road, and by the time he got to the last house, the light bulbs would hardly even come on because the loss was so much. With alternating current, you can use transformers and things like that, and you can run power for hundreds of miles over terrain. So alternating current ended up winning out over direct current. Well, this is direct current because I'm running it off a 12 volt direct current. So the loss rules apply because it's not an alternating current. Yeah. So anyway, this is what we got. I'm happy with the box. I'm happy with everything I got in it so far. I even bought some new wires that are USB-C to USB-C. And that way, I'm going to put 2 of these in the box. I bought a pack of 6 of these, and they're all 6 different lengths. It's like 2 foot, 3 foot, 4 foot, 5 foot, 6 foot. It's pretty cool. I bought that, and I'm going to take 2 or 3 of them and literally put them in this box as part of the kit. So when you arrive there, I've got everything you need to charge 2 devices right off the bat. And so this is literally going in this box as part of the equipment. There's also, I've got a couple of antennas that I'm going to buy little 90s for, so that in the event that I want to use this, like let's say I've set it up for field day, well, maybe I don't need a big antenna for VHF. So I've got a nice small one about this big that I'm going to be able to hook right on the back of the box. So if I'm outside, I can use the VHF antenna right off the box, right off the antenna on the box, and then I can run the other ones to whatever I want, whatever big antenna I want. Yes, I think there was, Dominic, and it's been a while since I've seen it. Yes, I think it was Edison and Tesla, and all their others. I mean, there's other people involved, but those were the 2 main guys. Yeah, and yeah, Edison was right about many things. The man, an amazing genius. But like anything, okay, you're going to get a few things wrong, and this was one he got wrong. It was alternating current that won out. Now direct current, Henry Ford used direct current in his Fords, and that's how that became the standard. 12 volt became the standard, because remember, you know who Edison's best friend was Ford and Firestone. They all three have houses right together here, like 5 miles from here, and that's why we ended up with one and the other. I think direct current works best for cars and trucks, and I think alternating current works best for power grids. I think we got the best of both worlds. Absolutely. We don't need to run 110 volt power around a car, but we also can't be running 12 volt power to houses. It don't make any sense. So I think we ended up doing really good. We got the best of Tesla and the best of Edison. Edison made a lot. Everybody always thinks of the light bulb, but Edison had his hand in different kinds of light bulbs even. He was even starting to work in fluorescence and things like that. He was getting into very large light bulbs and lighting large areas and things like that. But he also got into things like focusing light and things like that. Some of the first work in focusing beams of light and making things like a headlight that would light the road in front of the carriage and things like that. And the phonograph, communications, the basic telephone. So much of that was work that Edison did in his lab. And so, yeah, he invented a lot of different things. And that's why I don't think he gets near the credit that he deserves. I really don't. And one of the things I hear about him all the time is, that guy was weird. Yeah, he was. Yeah. The smarter you are, the weirder you are. And, yeah, it happens. The phonograph, the first device to record and reproduce sound, was made by Thomas Edison in 1877. It earned him the nickname the Wizard of Menlo Park. He created the incandescent light bulb, and he created improved versions of the light bulb during his life. He perfected the filament and the vacuum design and made bulbs practical for everyday use. His version could last up to 1,200 hours. Carbon microphones for telephone greatly improved telephone sound quality. AT&T ended up using his design for nearly 100 years. Electric power distribution he built the first investor-owned electric utility in 1882. Now, it was using direct current, but it powered 400 lamps in lower Manhattan. He also created the motion picture camera called the cantograph, created to capture sequential images on film. Led to the first commercial film exhibition. He also, that was the peephole viewer. He created an electric pen, which was an early precursor to the mimeograph machine. It later influenced the invention of tattoo machines that we use today. This something you've probably never heard of before, but he created it. It was a stencil duplicator called an electric pen, and the concepts are still in use. That's the auto pen that Biden used, basically, the same thing. Alkaline storage battery. He was one of the first people to actually not just use electricity, but store it once it was made. And he made a more durable lead acid batteries for the time, used in railroads, cars, and early submarines. It was also used in communication like telegraph. He also created the fluoroscope. It was an X-ray viewer, allowed real-time X-ray imaging. Edison abandoned this though after, they were having to use large amounts of radiation to make it work. He is credited for making one of the first, if not the first, stock ticker. It printed stock prices on a strip of paper that would come out of the side of the machine, and these became quite popular in the financial district in New York. And there was actually wires run between businesses that shared the data, and you would actually buy into a network where you would get this real-time data over this line that would come around town. Oh Christ, here we go with this. Get rid of that. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's see here. He also created the automatic telegraph system. It enabled telegraph messages to be sent at higher speeds. It improved long distance communications efficiency. He also created tinfoil phonograph cylinders. These were those first records that you saw, where he would actually put a thin piece of filament, a thin piece of foil over a barrel, and then he would etch into that barrel around and around as it would spin. Those were the first records that were made, and they were called tinfoil phonograph cylinders. The first method of recording audio ever. They were replaced later by wax cylinders for better sound quality. He created one of the first talking dolls ever to be known. And it used a tiny phonograph, and it would actually talk. However, the sound quality was so bad that it never made commercial production. But he was the first to think about that. Think about it. He created a cement manufacturing process. He patented a long rotary kiln for cement production. You know how we see the cement thing rolling today? Him. Yep. Used in construction projects, including Yankee Stadium was one of the first places that the process was used. He would spin barrels to keep the concrete ready and to mix the concrete. We do it today, still being done the same way. Electric railway. He experimented with electric powered rail transport by energizing one of the rails. You could then power electric systems on the railway. His designs eventually influenced the trolley and tram systems that we have today. Vote recorder. One of the earliest patents in 1869 was a design of a vote recorder designed for faster tallying of legislative votes. It was eventually rejected by politicians because they were worried about tampering. He created the first electric safety fuse, helped to protect electrical surfaces from overloading. He would actually put a weak link in the circuit, and that weak link would fail before a fire would start. And that became the first fusible link, or fuse, which eventually became breakers that we use today. And we still use fuses in our cars too. As mentioned, he created one of the first duplicating Mimeo machines, and that the Mimeo machine that we used for 100 years was his basic design. He created the first nickel iron batteries as well. And he also spearheaded the transition between disc records and flat records, the flat records that we still see today. Yes, wireless energy, Tesla wireless energy. You know, I don't think that was ever going to work. I've studied the ionosphere for so many years, and I don't see how you can disperse energy into a layer of atmosphere and then somehow recover that energy again in a different location with any kind of success at all. Even if you could recover 50% of that energy, it would never be a process that would be worth doing because you're losing 50% of the energy. So I don't know how that would ever work, but it's funny. It's a fun thing. Um, yes, yes, black boxes. There's still black boxes in use today that still use the 10 recording systems, but they've been slowly getting rid of them all. But yeah, that was tried and true technology. It was a cylinder that recorded things onto a cylinder like that etched them in, and that way when it would get down in the water or it would get in a crash or whatever, they could recover that disk and hopefully get the data. Um, yeah, if you can't put the link in YouTube, you can always go put it in the general tab on our uh, Discord page. That's the best way um, to. The main reason I started the Discord was so that we had a way to talk to each other outside of the chat room. So there's our Discord server. The general tab is yours to use. Just throw it right in there. There's also a breaking news tab. Only put stuff in that tab if it's actual current breaking news, because that actually sets off an alert here at the studio. Um, yes, Dominic. I mean, yeah, I got a box over there that's full of 5 different kinds of automotive fuses. Um, no, no, that's fine. I'll find it. I'll find. I go through that Discord all the time. I'll find it. Let's see. Yep, I've got it. Yep, I've got it. Wow, 5 miles. That's not bad. See, beaming energy is different. I mean, Tesla was talking about flushing a certain part of our ionosphere with artificial energy and then gathering that energy back up at a second location. When you're talking about focusing energy, now we're on the same field, because I believe you could send a laser into space, and 1,000 years from now you can collect that energy back up out of space, and about 95% of it will still be there. So I know that beaming energy is possible. Now, when you beam that energy through our atmosphere, there's a much larger loss, but still, um, it's not even how much they can beam. It's the loss. It's the loss. And I'm going to read this article. And actually, I'll tell you what. I'll probably post on it. Be watching tomorrow. I will. I'm going to read this article, and that'll probably be what I write about. I get up in the morning, and I do some writing. AI does help me with some of it, but every bit of it is actually either created by me or with the assistance of AI and me. And I try to put out stuff that's compelling, that's interesting. So this looks interesting. I'll read this in the morning, and I'll create my own post on it, and it'll be cool. All right, let's see here. Yeah, I post on my YouTube, on both of our YouTube channels under community posts, and then I put a link also into Discord so that people can find it back over on YouTube. All right, is that it, guys? My headache's splitting. I'm coming up on 2 hours, and I'm out of here. That's the news, and I am out of here. Is there anything else? Does anybody have anything else you want me to do? Um, I'm sure. Yeah. I mean, if you're going to create something, you might as well eventually make it to where it'll kill somebody, right? Um, yes, Tesla is a fascinating topic, just like Edison is a fascinating topic. I absolutely agree. And yeah, we'll do some more on Tesla for sure. Look, the military has got death rays right now. If you concentrate enough energy into one spot, which is the same kind of thing we're talking about here, beaming energy, we're already have lasers that will take, we've had for 10 or 15 years now, lasers that will take missiles out of space, out of the air as they're inbound. But that technology is getting better and better and better. They're also looking at particle energy, which is kind of how the phasers on Star Trek work. It's particleized energy. And we're still a ways from that, but it's coming. You know, we would be carrying around phasers right now, except for the power supply. You'd have to, it would literally have to plug into your car, and you'd have to have a big generator in your trunk just to make a beam that would hurt somebody. But as technology becomes better on creating the beam more efficiently, creating a beam that works better, but also create a beam that takes a lot less energy, on the backside, creating a power source that creates a lot more energy with less space, all this stuff has to eventually come together into some kind of weapon that you can hold. We're still a ways out on that. But they already have vehicle-mounted laser systems already. Yes, they've got them on ships too. That's what they're doing. When they've got a missile inbound, they start putting laser beams towards it. And those laser beams literally melt through the front of the thing and it explodes. That's what they do. You know, you can fire 50 caliber at it all day long. But the thing is that light has a lot more range. You can be shooting at a missile that's still 10 miles away. You don't have to wait for it to get in like an anti-aircraft range for your traditional anti-aircraft weapons. All have a fairly augmented range. Light weapons have a lot less of that. You can go a lot further with a light weapon than you can with a shrapnel type weapon. So anyway, there you go. All right, guys, we're gonna go. This will be our 7-3. I'm gonna see you guys later. For those that don't know, I'm a ham radio operator, and a lot of my people that I started with here are hams. So when you hear 7-3, it's an old telegraph thing that just means end of message, have a good day. And so that's why every time we end the show with 7-3s, it's just a way to tell everyone that we're going to end our transmission now, and I hope everyone has a great night out there along the telegraph lines. All right, guys, everybody, have a good night out there. This is Starship Adventures. This is the sights and sounds of Earth. We may be on tomorrow night. I may not be on because it's my normal night off. Sunday night for sure, be there. And also, make sure your notifications are on. I know they don't always work, but make sure your notifications are on. And Junior always, when we go live, if he sees us, he puts it on Discord, because I always forget. But we try to put there when we're live as well, and you should get a notification that we're live. So hopefully that will go out if you've got the bell notification on. And I will be monitoring all weekend. If breaking news happens, I will break in and we will go live. Also, I've got the 7-3. I've got the amateur feeds from Florida. I've got the brush fire feeds from California up on Scanner. I've also got Chicago, New York, Baltimore, and Los Angeles, all up on Scanner feeds right now on QCast. So check it out. Between my two channels, I've got 7 live streams going out right now. And we're going to try to keep all that going over the weekend. So check it out. Please give us a thumbs up on there and all that good stuff. All right, guys, everybody have a good night out there. We'll see you next time. My name's Ian, and this is Starship Adventures here at Starship Studios in Southwest Florida. We'll see you next time. 7-3s, be safe, have a good night.